pace truck set to hit the pit road, and we are set to go green, Heather, for 175 laps.
That's right. It's going to be a good race, Kyle Ricky. I'm glad to be in the booth with you. And here we go. Green flag is down.
Side by side into turn number 2. Bottom lane gets the advantage. Harrison Burton, car number 12, over Todd Gilliland in the 54. Bit of a new look for Todd here this weekend. Cole Rouse in third. Top 3 cars quickly get single file. Top by side from fifth on back. Brandon McReynolds, number 74, trying to make some ground in the outside lane. Just outside of the top 5. Just outside of the top 10. Ruben Garcia Jr. in that pack of traffic. Off of turn number 4. Number 2, young Ryan Vargas coming over here to the East Coast, but after finding so much success in super late model racing in the West Coast, or on the West Coast, and finding success here tonight in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East, making his series debut. 4 laps in, and Harrison Burton right now tiptoeing away from the rest of the field, up onto the back straightaway. Good battle for third, shaping up in turn 4.
That's right. Harrison's had a lot of experience at this track early in his career, but this week he just won here last night in late model. So a lot more laps than some of the other drivers that might have had so far now.
He's led all the laps thus far over Todd Gilliland. Anthony Alfredo coming away in car number 40 in the battle for third. Takes the spot away from Cole Rouse. And that'll open the door for Tyler Dipple. Tyler, a veteran of this series, one of the few drivers that we can call that here racing tonight. Currently in the 5th spot in a good battle with Cole Rouse for position 4. Rouse, meanwhile, looking to the inside of Anthony Alfredo in the battle for third. It's a great battle. Just a couple of car lengths behind Harrison Burton, the race leader, and Todd Gilliland in that 2nd spot. Haley Deegan further back, just inside of the top 10. Car number 19. In a spirited battle with Spencer Davis. Davis, obviously a lot of laps here in a NASCAR K&N Pro Series car. Also has some track time here in a modified. Currently in the 9th position. Haley Deegan rounding out the top 10. And has a couple of car lengths between her and Anthony Sergio. The Florida native just outside of the top 10 right now. Trying to make his way to the inside of Haley Deegan to take that spot away. Now 2 car lengths between them. Further up, Brandon McReynolds to the inside, trying to gain a position on Derek Kraus. That is the battle for position number 6 as they make their way off of turn number 2. Lap traffic already. 11 laps in.
And we have a spin on the backstretch.
Spin on the back straightaway puts us under the caution flag. Looks like it might be Jesse Aluji. A solo spin over off of turn number 2. And it's going to be John Wood, the Eagle, Idaho native. And that'll put us under the caution flag for the first time in this event. So John Wood goes around off of turn number 2, a solo spin. He is able to pull away, no damage, and will continue but 1 lap down. Heather, it's going to be tough. Catch some of the past champions of this series with Harrison Burton, car number 12, leading the way. The defending champion, Todd Gilliland, has found so much success here the last couple of years, not only here in the East, but also in the West.
That's right. They also have Todd Gilliland's former team, Bill McAnally Racing. You got Cole Rouse in the 99 currently in 4th. You also have Derek Kraus in 6th in that 16 car. Derek finished 3rd here last year. They do have some experience at Smyrna, also racing in the World Series of asphalt racing. They're all out here getting as much seat time as possible. And I tell you what, it's kind of fun to be able to come and watch these guys for more than just one race. You can watch them all week if you want.
A lot of these drivers running in super late models and even some in the modifieds, which check in here tomorrow at New Smyrna Speedway. And of course, all the fans here, we hope that you come back and check out the modifieds, pro late models, super late models the rest of the week here at New Smyrna Speedway. And of course, every night, live on fanschoice.tv. We'll have all the action for you here from this Central Florida short track here at New Smyrna Speedway. A long mainstay of short track racing.
is required to come in. One thing that stayed the change is they're not, or stay the same is they're not allowed to change tires unless if they have an issue like a flat or something like that. In that case, they have to use tires from practice to put on the car, but they are now given the option to come in during those 5-minute breaks. Do you think some of these drivers out here will play strategy at all tonight. But it's a new thing, so I don't even know if they really know what to do at this point.
I think if they want to get ahead of Todd Gilliland and Harrison Burton, you're going to have to do something different from what they do. So we'll see what happens here. Right now, pits are open. Haley Deegan is on pit road, car number 19. We don't anticipate anybody on the pit lane here this time by. In fact, the 10 car, who is sporting some of that damage that you mentioned a moment ago, Matt Levine, after the contact off of turn number 2, comes to pit road. He received the black flag a lap ago because of that hanging back bumper on the number 10 car.
Matt Levine is one of 8 K&N West drivers here tonight. He said that he will also be racing Bristol and a few other select events along with Haley Deegan and her teammates, Cole Rouse and Derek Kraus. They will also be racing select East races this year. So a lot of those drivers, now that they've made that change where you can run for championships in both series, they're running more, which is kind of nice to be able to see them out and able to run different tracks that the West doesn't have and different tracks that the East doesn't have.
And a lot of those tracks are tracks that the NASCAR National Series compete at. Haley told me earlier today we expect to see her at places like New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the Iowa Speedway, maybe even Watkins Glen, get a little road course experience. So, and I'm sure she'll take a lot of her Bill McAnally Racing teammates with her on some of the off weekends in the West, come out East and get the experience that a lot of these young drivers that are 16, 17, 18 years of age will need if they do want to move up into NASCAR's National Series down the road.
Definitely. In the K&N Pro Series, they race on many different tracks, like you mentioned, road course, short track. They're going to Iowa, which is somewhat of a bigger track, and now they're going to Las Vegas and racing the dirt, which I am really, really looking forward to. And I'm curious how many of these East guys will go west for that.
Going dirt track racing for the first time in the fall at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Going to be fun to watch that event later this season. Field gets the 1-to-go signal. Field doubles up on the front straightaway. And it looks like some engine issues for Haley Deegan, more than just what we thought, potential tire down. So Deegan on pit road in car number 19. Lined up on the back straightaway. Familiar faces at the front of the field. Harrison Burton to the inside. Todd Gilliland to the outside. Coming to the green flag, Cole Rouse. In the 99, Anthony Alfredo in the 40. Green flag to begin lap number 27. And it's Todd Gilliland in the outside lane getting a jump. The outside lane, the place to be on these restarts, Heather.
Definitely. He just got a jump, like you said, almost to the point where I said, where did that come from? I was looking down at my notes, making sure I've got everybody here, because little do you know, this is my first time in the booth, Kyle, but I'm glad to be up here with you because you're a pro, so you're going to teach me the ways of how to call a race.
And you're doing a great job thus far, if you can hear me, of course.
Thank you, yes. Kyle's been working hard at the big track. He called the Clash today. We got cough drops of water for him, though, so hopefully he'll make it through this race.
It's been a long weekend already, and we're far from over. 28 laps in, and it's going to be Todd Gilliland leading the way. Harrison Burton in second. Battle for third. The 99, Cole Rouse, Anthony Alfredo, top 4 have been in those positions for the last 20 laps or so. Not a lot of shuffling among the race leaders. Rounding out the top 5, another Bill McAnally Racing entry in Derek Kraus from Stratford, Wisconsin. Brandon McReynolds continuing to try to make some headway in that 74 car. Looks to the inside of car number 30 of Tyler Dipple. McReynolds making his debut for Visconti Motorsports here tonight. Will have to settle into line behind Tyler Dipple by a couple of car lengths. Spencer Davis sneaking up in there as well in car number 82. Want to restart, Heather, in the outside, but quickly get to the bottom of the racetrack when at all possible.
That's right. I was was watching someone a little bit further in the track who just did that. The 17 of Tyler Ankrum. It's his debut today. They had some adversity in practice. They had to change an engine, so he only was able to practice first session. But he said he's kind of used to making his way to the front from the back from late models because he's not that great at qualifying. But he has made up a few spots, and he's been able to work himself to the bottom. So he's trying to get his way up to the front like he told me earlier.
Tyler Ankrum mid-pack right now as he tries to reel in the front half of the field. Here they come off of turn number 4 to complete another lap. 33 laps already in the books here. This one zipping right along. Gilliland led early, then it was Harrison Burton, then it was Gilliland once again on the last restart. Brandon McReynolds coming to life to the inside of Tyler Dipple. Off of turn number 4. 74 car, one of the fastest on the racetrack right now. And McReynolds now up into position number 6. A little bit of a gap between himself and the top 5. Derek Kraus currently in that 5th position. Battle for the lead in turn number 3. Harrison Burton has reeled in Todd Gilliland for the top spot. But Heather, once again, top 2 cars are pulling away. Gilliland the leader, Burton in second, checking out from the battle for 3rd, which is a good one with Cole Rouse and Anthony Alfredo. And a little bit of lap traffic might play into this as well.
That's right, Anthony Alfredo, otherwise known as Fast Pasta. I got to talk to him earlier. He said he picked up that nickname from Hickory Motor Speedway. He doesn't know if he really likes that name. Some people like to call him Chicken Alfredo. I'm not really sure, but I think if he's going fast, I would stick with Fast Pasta. Caution out on the track. Spin for the number 39 of Andrew Tuttle from Eagle, Idaho.
And another car here on the front straightaway that has come to a stop. And we go under the caution flag for the 3rd time here tonight. Tuttle goes around over off of turn number 4. And we'll try to get an ID on that second car involved here just off of turn number 4. And that's the Salvatore Iovino, number 32 entry that has come to a stop here on the front straightaway. So a couple of cars involved in the incident. 3rd caution flag in just 38 laps here tonight.
I didn't quite see what happened there, but Sal is not happy. If you look, you can see he just threw his gloves out onto the wall, the pit road wall. So something must have went wrong that we missed, that he definitely was not anticipating and didn't want to have happen.
So waiting on Sal to climb out of that car here on the front straightaway.
Brian Deegan. He was a freestyle motocross rider.
Yeah,
I think
all
some
that
of her
extreme sports.
Yeah, and I think some of her personality comes from him. I was able to cover him at Red Bull Global Rallycross, and he's quite the character as well. Really enjoy his personality. They are just full out, wide open kind of racers. Very fun to watch. All the time.
And you can see all of that on their social media channels for following Brian Deegan and Haley Deegan nonstop. But unfortunately, Haley is stopped right now on pit road after some mechanical issues. Pit road is open, but there haven't been any takers so far. And once we get Sal Iovino's car hooked up here on the front straightaway, we will be back under the green flag. In the modifieds, check in here tomorrow. A lot of talk in the modified community about Ryan Preece and his wild wreck yesterday at the Bronson Speedway here in Florida. Sent that car up and over the wall in turn number 1 after a stuck throttle. He is okay and plans to be here with another car to compete here beginning tomorrow night. But wow, what an incredible week it has been already for young Ryan Preece.
That was wild. I was able to see a very grainy video of that on Instagram, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, though, and Manzanita Speedway, that was a dirt track there. They used to have a junkyard outside turns. I think it was 3 and 4, and I've seen sprint cars flip over that fence into the junkyard, but I've never seen a modified go through a wall like that. I guess there's a time to see everything.
That's right. Good news is Ryan is okay and will be here tomorrow, of course. Big season for Ryan in the NASCAR Xfinity Series level, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, and will also run for a NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour Championship. Field has been given the 1-to-go signal. We'll go back under the green flag here in just a moment. Harrison Burton to the inside. Todd Gilliland goes topside. Everybody back into a safe location on the back straightaway, so that means we are set for the restart. 44 laps complete. Outside lane has been a hot lane on these restarts. Let's see if it is again for Todd Gilliland. Indeed it is. He is able to break away by a couple of car lengths over Harrison Burton. Cole Rouse to the inside of Anthony Alfredo in the battle for third. Single file from 5th on back. Brandon McReynolds gaining another spot on the restart. Car number 74, one of the fastest cars early on in this race. And he should be able to reel in this battle for third pretty quickly as they continue side by side for a third lap. Rouse to the inside, Anthony Alfredo to the outside, and here comes Brandon McReynolds, reeling them down in car number 74 from third on back. McReynolds finding a little pressure from Derek Kraus, who he passed on the restart. Kraus wanting that spot back. Kraus running in position number 6. Spencer Davis, who has run this series now the last 4 or 5 years in car number 82. One car out of shape further back. He's okay. Car number 2 for Ryan Vargas, making his NASCAR K&N Pro Series debut here tonight. Winner of the prestigious Wendell Scott Trailblazer Award the last 2 years. Coming from West Coast Super Late Model Racing. And doing well here tonight for Rev Racing. Getting some laps. Another one of those young drivers just looking for seat time.
That's absolutely correct. I was actually down on the front stretch during autograph session talking to drivers. I had a K&N West Series driver and now racing in the ARCA Series, Will Rogers, come up to me and say, hey, you know about Ryan Vargas, right? That's a really cool story. That guy's out of California, Drive for Diversity. He's a good kid. So it's neat to see drivers telling me, recommending people to talk about that they are also proud of their accomplishments. Because, yes, it's competitive out here, but it's a good group of guys racing, young men and ladies racing in this K&N Pro Series, trying to make their way to the next levels.
A lot of great stories here tonight, and there are two great stories at the front of the field right now. Todd Gilliland, the race leader, Harrison Burton in second, and here comes Anthony Alfredo, slowly but surely creeping in there from the third spot, looking to challenge for the top spot. Anthony, so far, very quiet in this race, but consistent, has always been in the top four. Further back, 31, Jimmy Zacharias, making a pass deeper in the field. He's also adapting to these full fendered race cars coming from New York Modified Racing. Had a lot of success at the Smyrna Speedrome over the years. And also a frequent campaigner at the on the NASCAR. Oh, almost contact there for Jimmy Zacharias off of turn number 2. He's okay. Finding some pressure from Ruben Garcia Jr. in turn number 3. No harm, no foul. As the race leaders about a half a lap ahead of that battle, and it's a three-way battle for the top spot. Gilliland, Burton, Alfredo, 1, 2, 3, each separated by about a car length from each other. And then the Bill McAnally Racing twins go 4th and 5th into turn number 3. Cole Rouse has that spot. Derek Krause just behind him within a car length. Figured we would see Brendan McReynolds close a little quicker. That car, hot as a pistol early in this race, has kind of evened out in car number 74. Unable to get back into the top 5 after losing that spot a couple of laps ago to Krause. Closing in on the first break that we'll see here tonight, just within about 5 or so laps. So close pit road a couple of laps before we get to that point.
Optional 5 minutes to come in and make adjustments. They will not be allowed to change tires. We'll see who might play strategy and try and do something to be able to catch up to Harrison Burton and Todd Gilliland. At this point, they're still leading the way, although we do have some other great battles happening further back in the field.
A lot of great battles all the way around this racetrack for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series. The 34 car trying to make a pass just outside of the top 10. Cody Vanderwall trying to advance his position off turn 2.
And Cody Vanderwall, he's from Colorado. He's in high school. He plays football. He's a defensive end. He just told me he's not decided if he's going to play his senior year. But he is getting help this weekend from Bill McAnally Racing. They actually built that car and prepared it for him and brought it out here. But his team that he usually races with in the K&N West Series is from BMR here in Smyrna.
A lot of slip sliding around in that pack of traffic involving Cody Vanderwall, Ryan Vargas, a couple of other cars as they try to position themselves for this first break coming up in just a couple of laps from now. There it is, caution flag on lap number 64 to end the first stage of this race. Gilliland, the race leader, Harrison Burton in second, Anthony Alfredo in that third spot. Then the Bill McAnally Racing teammates, Derek Krause, car number 16, and then Cole Rouse in the 99. A tongue twister among teammates there in the top 5.
Yes, I'm going to have to work on that one. I already felt like I said them wrong and had to second guess myself. Wait, did I say Cole Rouse or Derek Krause, or did I say it backwards?
I'm right there with you.
At least I nailed it that time.
Safety truck will pick up the field over in turn number 1. We go under the caution for the 4th time in this event. This is a scheduled caution flag. The end of stage number 1. And again, for the first time in the K&N Series, an optional pit stop Used to be we'd have one of these during the race, and all the drivers would come to pit road and not lose or gain positions.
And speaking of losing or gaining positions, when you come on pit road, however you come on pit road, you will essentially keep your position with those that are on pit road with you. But you will lose position to whoever stays out, if that made sense. Did I explain that remotely close?
Got it. If you stay on the racetrack, you pass the cars that enter pit road. If you go to pit road, you will stay in that order of the cars that go to pit lane and make adjustments, because you have, like you mentioned earlier, a couple of minutes to do so. It's not going to be what we see in the National Series, like a hot pit stop. All right, pit road is open. Green flag waving at the head end of pit road, and we'll see if anybody elects to make a stop. The answer is immediately yes.
So far, Todd Gilliland in. Harrison Burton choosing to stay out.
Wow.
But it looks like the rest of the field is coming in to make adjustments. Kyle, what do you think the strategy is there?
Anthony Alfredo. Everybody comes to the pit lane except for Harrison Burton.
So would that be the term he was hung out to dry there, or is he going to be all right? Does he think maybe that he has the setup and he's happy with the car, he doesn't want to make adjustments, and then it's going to cycle out on the next one?
I think he might be in trouble here.
Yeah.
Because you have to make a stop. You can't go the entire distance on fuel.
Right.
With the extra 25 laps added to this race, 175 laps. Everybody is on pit road except for the 12, which will stop on the back straightaway for the next 5 minutes when all the cars hit their pit stall. We will do this again later in the race, and my bet is everybody stays out, and Harrison will have to pit.
Yes, I would agree with that. And right now, I wish I had my scanner so I could listen to the radio communication happening right now, and the conversation on how that decision was made, and then after they saw how it played out, what they were thinking or saying, for that matter.
Harrison, of course, a second-generation driver. Father, of course, longtime NASCAR Cup Series driver, Jeff Burton. And I wonder if he's on the radio right now going, son, you might have your hands full here in the final third of this race. Might be okay here after the restart, but once we get to that second competition yellow, he'll have to pit, and he'll have to come up through the field, and we'll see how many cars are on the lead lap at that point.
Right. One thing, though, that's different from this series to the National Series is they're still going to be on the same tires. So at least he still has the same tires that everybody else is on. So it's not like where sometimes you see people go in, get tires, and then they drive away from the person that didn't go in. So maybe he'll be okay. We'll see what happens.
Until he has to pit for fuel.
Right, you're right. I know. I just meant in the beginning because he's going to be out front. Yep. He's going to still be in the first position, so maybe he'll be okay. And if he can make it to that break, fuel up, and then come through the whole field to the front again, I don't know.
We'll see. It'll be fun to watch, no doubt. Just a couple of minutes remaining in this break, and then we'll re-rack them here on the front stretch. They will restart in the order they came onto pit road, outside of Harrison Burton, who will restart as the race leader. So Todd Gilliland will come out and will restart second. Anthony Alfredo third. Derek Kraus, Cole Rouse, and so on and so forth down the line. So nobody will lose a spot on pit road.
Few cars starting to roll back out on the racetrack. They've finished up adjustments and are ready to go. Todd Gilliland driving the number 54 out, also the 17 of Tyler Ankrum. They're getting ready to head back out onto the track. They will line all the cars back up based on how they came into the pit, so nobody loses position here.
So the field exiting pit road. They'll re-rack them on the back straightaway, and we will resume this event. 65 laps complete. Lap 88 halfway here tonight. And the caution flag back out from the starter stands. Pace truck will begin to roll off the back straightaway. Harrison Burton, first driver to move. He's been sitting back there for the last couple of minutes or so. And now we'll be joined by the rest of the field.
For those of you fans here at New Smyrna Speedway, you're seeing the race live. Those of you watching at home are watching live on fanschoice.tv, but if you want to catch the NBCSN broadcast,
that's right.
That will be Tuesday, February 27th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Derek Perniciglio will be on pit road. I believe Jeff Burton and Dave Burns will be calling the race.
I believe you're right.
It's going to be a good one. We'll get to watch it all over again,
Get to
Kyle.
relive what we're living right now.
Exactly.
Going to position a couple of the Bill McAnally racing cars back into order. Derek Kraus. And just now a couple of laps to go, that is, until we get back under the green flag. To go from the starter stand. We'll be back underway under the green flag. And again, thank you all for coming out to New Smyrna Speedway. Night number 3 of the World Series of Asphalt Racing. Harrison Burton, the race leader, the race winner last night here in the Super Late Model Division. Great field of cars there. Also a great asphalt sprint car race here last night with a bit of a controversial finish. Especially if you ask the driver that finished in second a night ago.
Yeah, I heard that he had some choice words.
He did.
I unfortunately missed it.
He did.
Because I was at the ARCA race watching
yes.
that action over there. You were calling the action. It's an extended version of ARCA at Daytona.
Yes, it was. Here we go, back under the green flag here at New Smyrna Speedway. Todd Gilliland, Harrison Burton, front row, putting in the outside lane, Gilliland to the bottom. Anthony Alfredo, third spot. As the race leaders head off of turn number 2. And you're right, tires are obviously not going to make a difference here as the drivers that made a stop a few moments ago unable to change tires here in the NASCAR K&N Series. Once again, pulling away at the front of the field over Todd Gilliland, receiving some pressure, though, for that second spot. Cole Rouse getting back in the line, and here comes Brandon McReynolds to the outside of Anthony Alfredo. They are side by side and nose to nose to the exit of turn number 2. McReynolds has it wound up in the outside lane. Haven't seen too many drivers attempt that here tonight, but he's making it work.
A little further back, we see some contact with the number 17 of Tyler Ankrum trying to make his way up through the field with the number 20 of Anthony Sergi. He seemed to be struggling a little bit, falling back at this point. Also the 44 of Dylan Bassett joining that 3-wide battle.
Bassett in that battle for position off of turn number 4. He will quickly tuck back into line. 30, Tyler Dickel. To his inside as they make their way off of turn number 2 and up the back straightaway. That battle just inside of the top 10. Tyler Dipper gets the position away. Jimmy Zacharias making some moves toward the middle of the field as well. Brandon Oakley to his outside, Zacharias to the bottom for about the 17th spot on the racetrack. Car number 31. That battle side by side just behind Ryan Vargas in the 2 as the race leader makes his way off of turn number 2. Harrison Burton has a great car, but we know he has to make a pit stop. Everybody else should be good to go to the finish. Six car getting a spot here on the front stretch, Ruben Garcia. And a side-by-side race just inside of the top 10. Going to come back off of turn number 4. And Garcia gets the spot on the 44 for Dylan Bassett. A single out off of turn number 2 up the back straightaway. Ronnie Bassett in that pack of traffic as well in the 04. Obviously a driver that found a lot of success here a year ago, winning here at Smyrna Speedway. Brandon McReynolds strong right now in car number 74. Maybe the third quickest car on the racetrack. It's behind Harrison Burton, the race leader. Todd Gilliland in second. McReynolds looking good right now.
Definitely, and he's been racing hard with the Bill McAnally racing cars right now. Derek Krause in the 16, who I still think, when I see the 16, I go way back to when Brandon was actually in that car. So part of me is trying to make sure I'm like, Brandon's in the 74, not the 16.
Way back, only 3 years ago.
Only 3 years ago, but I still like to reminisce, Kyle.
A lot has happened between now and then, and that includes Brandon McReynolds jumping into this new ride from Visconti Motorsports, car number 74. Off of turn number 4, they're going to put a lap on the Chuck Buchanan car.
A little further back, Spencer Davis moving the 17. He's now around. Tyler Agram spun in turn 2 with help from Spencer Davis.
Couple of close calls over there off of turn number 2. The 17 does go around Tyler Ankrum. That'll put us under the caution flag once again. The Modern Meat Company Toyota. San Bernardino, California native from your neck of the woods. Ooh, I almost got up into the safety truck there. Some of the race leaders having to avoid Tyler. He's able to break away. It's in 3.
Yes, and that's definitely a tough break for him there. As I mentioned earlier, he had to start from the rear of the field due to an engine change. He wasn't able to qualify, and I believe he worked his way up to almost 6th or 7th position at that point before that incident happened. So now he's got to put in some more work again to get back to the front of the field.
That's right. And he is able to get away in car number 17 with minimal, if any, damage. Spencer Davis sliding up into Tyler Ankrum off of turn number 2. Just a little bit of contact. And everybody behind Ankrum was able to avoid.
And prior to that contact, I thought they made some contact on the front stretch a little bit.
I think you are right. I think that's what some of the NASCAR officials are looking for, or looking at up here. was some slight contact between the two cars of Ankrum and Spencer Davis off of turn number 4, just prior to that incident over in turn number 1, where Ankrum, or Spencer Davis, went to the inside of Ankrum. Contact was made, and Ankrum went around. This is while they were battling for position number 7 on the racetracks. Spencer Davis has it. Ankrum had it. Spencer Davis wanted it a couple of laps ago. Field gets the 1 to go signal, closing in on halfway, now 4 laps away. Field will get the 1 to go signal, or they have got the 1 to go signal. Ankrum makes his way to the back of the pack. We have the free pass car going around, so we'll hold 1 more lap. And Andrew Tuttle, driver that was involved in one of the first caution flags earlier tonight, he gets the lap back. We'll give 1 to go off of turn number 4. Try it again. Now 3 laps shy of halfway. So we'll try it again up on the back straightaway. Field has received the 1 to go signal. Todd Gilliland to the inside. Outside lane has been preferred on these restarts. That's where Harrison Burton is. And then Cole Rouse, next car in line, the number 99. Pace truck on pit road. Coming around a complete lap number 86 of 175 here tonight at New Smyrna Speedway. Green flag for the starters. Jump in, or Todd Gilliland looks to the inside. Can't get the run that he was looking for or the grip on that inside lane. And Burton maintains the top spot as they come off turn 4.
Cole Rouse on the inside of number 40 of Anthony Alfredo. He's trying to stick to the bottom, as you said, looking for grip down there. Just below, or just behind them, Brandon McReynolds below the 16 and Derek Krause also running the bottom.
Halfway home, cross flags from the starter stand. 88 down, 88 to go. And Harrison Burton has led the majority of them here tonight. Todd Gilliland has led all the laps that Harrison has not as they come back off of turn number 4. They are currently first and second, and once again pulling away from Cole Rouse in the 3rd spot.
A little further back in the field, we have some hard racing between the 04 and 44, the Bassett brothers out there duking it out. And now Cody Vanderwall has joined the party.
Ronnie Bassett, Cody Vanderwall breaks up the Bassett party over turn number 4. Dylan Bassett in car number 44. So strong here a year ago, both of those cars not having the same kind of luck here tonight, but we have the second half of this event to run. Cody Vanderwall on the outside lane, Ronnie Bassett to the bottom. In car number 04, battle for 4th shaping up in turn number 1. Anthony Alfredo has position number 4. Derek Krause looking to the inside in car number 16. Brandon McReynolds, who's been right around that 5th or 6th position all night long, part of that battle as well, in car number 74. Good run now off of turn number 2 for Derek Krause to the inside of Anthony Alfredo. Alfredo kicked up to the outside of the racetrack off of turn number 4. And Krause will pick up the spot. And now go to work on closing in on his Bill McAnally Racing teammate, Cole Rouse. Four laps in the books. Top 4 cars strung out at the front of the field. Brandon McReynolds, Anthony Alfredo still locked up in a heated battle for 5th, side by side for position number 5. McReynolds in the 74. Keep an eye on the 39 car at the back of the pack. Got the free pass a couple of moments ago. Andrew Tuttle got way up and out of the groove off of turn number 2. Kept it off the wall, no incident, and we continue under the green. Pulls that car on the pit road for Tuttle. Leader, turn number 2. Harrison Burton at the point. Gilliland in second. And 99 in that third spot for Cole Rouse. And a large gap now back to Derek Kraus in car number 16. And an even larger gap back to Brandon McReynolds in the 74. So we're at that stage of the race, Heather, after some early yellow. Now a long green flag run, something these drivers are expecting, or were expecting here tonight. They're getting it now.
That's right. Well, on these green flag runs, they are probably conserving tires a little bit because, as we spoke, they can't change their tires. And they've told me that conservation is going to be what gets you to the end of the race. And you have to be there at the end to win it. Ruben Garcia Jr. said you have to be patient to save tires. And I know that's got to be tough for these drivers because you're racing for the win and to have to tell yourself to hold back just that little bit just doesn't seem right.
Especially if you're not among the top 5 right now, wanting to get to the front of the field but not wanting to use up your race car. Drivers in the top 5 know they have another caution coming, so they can reel in Todd Gilliland, who we assume will be the race leader when that caution flag comes out, and when we go back to the green flag. As Harrison Burton, we believe, going to have to pit for fuel during the course of this race. He's the leader now, losing a little bit of that lead to Gilliland, but still about 4 or 5 car lengths between the top 2. 5 more car lengths back to Cole Rouse in the third spot, car number 99. Derek Kraus, 5 more back in 4th. And then the 5th place car of Brandon McReynolds, who has kind of stabilized there in that 5th position in car number 74. Been able to pick up a few spots early, and it looked like for a while he was going to be one of the fastest cars to challenge either Harrison or Todd for the top spot, but not the case right now. As he, like you mentioned, saving his equipment.
This is where I'm used to having my scanner on me because I'm used to being on pit road listening to what these teams are telling their drivers to do, especially when Todd Gilliland, I've heard many times his crew chief, Chris Lawson, telling him to save, keep up that pace, do what you're doing. His dad, David, will also get on the radio from time to time. And sometimes it's hard to keep them apart on whether it was Chris or his dad telling him or giving him advice.
Continuing under the green flag and closing in on the second competition caution here coming up in just a little bit. Harrison Burton, the race leader. Gilliland really closing the gap now off of turn number 2. And now, for the first time, that long green flag run means some lap traffic for the race leaders. A couple lap cars now just in front, including Chuck Buchanan in the number 87 car. He'll go a lap down. Buchanan out of Hildebrand, North Carolina. One other lap car now in front of the leaders coming off of turn number 4, and it really allows Todd Gilliland to close that gap. Chase Cabry, next car to go a lap down after the race leader. Harrison Burton, Todd Gilliland, drivers that we'll be seeing on NASCAR's National Spotlight this season in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Both have already found a lot of success in that series, driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports. They are first and second, closing in on Juan Gonzalez here on the front straightaway. Car number 5. Matt Levine also going the lap down. or just in front of the race leaders off turn 4 after suffering some body damage earlier in this race. Burton to his inside. Gonzalez, the next car to go a lap down, in car number 6 as they make their way up the back straightaway. Ruben Garcia also being shown the passing flag. Make that Gonzalez, the 5 to 6. It's very similar. And the race leaders hit turn number 3. Jimmy Zacharias also in mid-pack, car number 31. Keep an eye on that car. Getting some stock car experience here tonight, and a glowing left front rotor on that 31 entry. Lighting it up in turn number 3 under braking a moment ago, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Leaders, heavy lap traffic with Gonzalez right in front of Harrison Burton on the front straightaway.
Also looks like Cole Rouse is having a little bit of trouble getting around Matt Levine and Juan Gonzalez as well. Lap traffic becoming difficult for not only the leaders, but those in the further back in the field that are looking to catch the leaders at this point.
That's the battle for third. Bill McAnally Racing teammates knee-deep in the lap traffic right now. And it's really allowed Burton and Gilliland to break away at the front of the field. First and second, length of the back straightaway to third. That's where we find Cole Rouse finally clear of that lap traffic. Derek Krause also free and clear of the Gonzalez lap car. Brandon McReynolds next to close in on Gonzalez, moving around Levine a moment ago in car number 10. A couple of slow cars off of turn 4, including Ruben Garcia Jr. in car number 6, talking about that young driver a moment ago. On the apron of the racetrack in turn number 1, we'll see if he is able to make it back to pit lane. Keep this race under the green flag.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. He just seemed to turn left here on the front stretch and pull to the bottom, immediately knowing that he had a problem. Now he's just trying to make his way off the racetrack.
And he will pull into the pit lane, and now we have a car off the pace, the 31 Jimmy Zacharias. Talked about that glowing rotor a moment ago, and it looks like there's a little more than a glowing rotor on the left front of that car right now. Looks like there might have been a little flame as that car made its way up the back straightaway for Jimmy Zacharias. We'll see this time. Up and out of the groove. A lap to go. Car continues at speed. One lap down to the race leaders for Jimmy. Just a couple of laps away from closing pit road, which means we are in shouting distance of that second competition caution flag.
Seems as though some of the drivers have picked up the pace a little bit, maybe getting a little more aggressive to get as many spots as possible before they throw this caution, because if they are in fact only going to pit once, they want to get as far in the field as possible for that final restart.
Could be the final caution flag of the race coming up here in just a couple of laps from now. We stay under green, lap 121 in the books. Harrison Burton comes off of turn number 4, more lap traffic in front. Not sure if he will get to it before the yellow. Joe Draft Jr., car number 43. The next lead lap car to go a lap down. Abraham Calderon also in front of the race leader Harrison Burton. Those two cars side by side trying to stay on the lead lap as Burton closes in, and at the same time that is able to break away from Todd Gilliland in the second spot.
It'll be interesting to watch Harrison pass the 55 and 43 at this point. They were racing pretty hard, trying to pass each other, as you said, to stay on the lead lap of Harrison on the front stretch. Going into one.
Calderon goes to the outside. Burton goes to the bottom. Calderon falls from the lead lap. And now will position his car between Burton and Todd Gilliland in second. Pit road is closed as we are approaching the second and final competition caution of this event. 36 car off the pace here on the front straightaway, Jesse Iwuji. And the caution flag now comes out as expected at lap number 126. Does anybody pit with Harrison Burton? That's the big question.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm not saying yes, but
right.
I meant yes, it is. I'm answering your question to answer the big question. I don't know the answer to that, but I did get a viewer that's watching on Fans Choice that brought up a good point that Todd Gilliland in the 54 can save his stuff a little bit more because knowing that Harrison's going to have to pit, so he doesn't need to pass him prior to that. And that was brought to my attention. A viewer, Bullet GWD out there, fanschoice.tv.
I want to thank everybody for watching here tonight on fanschoice.tv and all the folks in the grandstands here at New Smyrna Speedway. The second scheduled caution flag of the evening. And we'll see if the pits are open. They indeed are. Green flag at the head end of pit road. And it looks like everybody is staying out. So, can Harrison Burton go the distance?
We have a taker.
Is that Tyler Dipple, car number 30 on pit road? A couple of the back markers on the pit lane as well in to make some adjustments, knowing that they are not going to lose any positions to make a spot or to gain a spot to make a pit stop, if that makes sense. Car number 4, Chase Cabry, one of the cars on the pit lane. Car number 2, Orion Vargas. Also the 43 on pit road for Joe Graff Jr. The clock has started. You'll get a couple of minutes to work on the cars here on pit lane. And the rest of the cars will stop now on the back straightaway. Harrison Burton staying out. Bit of a surprise there.
Yes, Kyle, that's why I was giving you that face, because I'm a little confused. They must think they can make it.
We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. A longer race than what we're used to here at New Smyrna Speedway. Extended by 25 laps to 175 from 150. So we'll see if indeed the 12 car can go the distance here tonight without making a pit stop. '55 car making a stop on the pit lane. Abraham Calderon, who went a lap down just prior to this caution flag. A driver that has found so much success over the years in the NASCAR Peak Mexico Series down in Mexico. I believe he won a race at Phoenix International Raceway, now ISM Raceway, a couple of years back.
That's where I'm from.
That's exactly
Phoenix.
Where you're from.
I'm excited to go to ISM Raceway and hang out. I think we get to work together again that weekend, so that'll be fun.
Hopefully I'll be able to talk that weekend.
I hope so, too. But you've been doing a great job. I'm happy that you're sticking it out.
Be on pit road at Phoenix in just a couple of weeks' time. And up here in the tower here tonight for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East season opener. Then the modifieds be in action here tomorrow. First of, I believe, 5 nights of racing that they will have here at New Smyrna Speedway throughout the next 5 or 6 nights or so. A lot of action still to come here. Glad you can join us here at New Smyrna Speed Weeks, the World Series of Asphalt Racing. countdown is on. A little right front work on the Joe Graff Jr. car number 43. After some apparent contact on the racetrack.
And don't forget, folks, coming up after this race, we have the IMCA Florida Mods. They're going to put on a good show for you after the finish to this K&N Pro Series East race.
More racing action here tonight. 35 laps in distance for the Florida Modifieds. It will be the nightcap here this evening. Those teams in the infield preparing for their event coming up in just a little bit from now. Officials now adjusting the order for the restart, making sure everybody knows where they will restart. When we go back to green here in just a couple of laps, a couple of the cars on the pit lane now firing up. We'll rejoin the drivers that did not pit on the back straightaway. Joe Graff Jr. among them, Abraham Calderon, Brandon Oakley in the 51. The number 2, Ryan Vargas. Like Heather mentioned a little bit earlier, very diverse schedule for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series, both the East and the West this year. The West, of course, will be running a dirt race for the first time in the fall at Las Vegas Motor Speedway Bullring, a combination race later this summer at Gateway Motorsports Park just outside St. Louis. So a lot happening and a little bit of a gap here for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East before they get back into action, I believe the first weekend in April at the Greenville Pickens Speedway. And also a stop at the Bristol Motor Speedway, part of the NASCAR race weekend there. They will be in action on April 14th. Then the Langley Speedway on April 28th. South Boston Speedway for a doubleheader back on May 12th. And then Memphis International Speedway June 2nd and on down the line throughout the summer months. So a very healthy schedule for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East.
That's right. And then the K&N Pro Series West will have their season debut March 15th at Kern County Raceway Park. I believe Kevin Harvick is actually going to be racing in that first race for the K&N West Series out there at Kern, so that'll be exciting to watch. Going back to Bakersfield, his hometown.
That's right.
And then they will go to Tucson. They'll have a doubleheader twin 100-lap race there as well. And then they will go to Orange Show Speedway and Colorado National Speedway. Some of my favorites on that tour, by the way.
Well, you're a West Coaster, so.
Yeah, but they're not all my favorite. Colorado's one of my
There you
favorites
go.
for sure.
Great racetrack. I've seen some great races from the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West there over the years. Of course, Chris Eggleston, a mainstay at that racetrack. No full-time ride yet, though, for Chris. He's working on that, hoping to be back, although he's going to be a dad here in about 7 months from now.
Yes, they're gonna. Him and his wife Katie will welcome their first child, but he's also going to be running a few truck races for DGR. So that's exciting.
See him on
later this season.
On the national level as well. Don't forget, one of the exciting races for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East this year, full throttle Saturday at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Up in Loudon, New Hampshire. not one, not two, but three races from NASCAR's Touring Series, including the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour for 250 laps. The NASCAR K&N Pro Series East will be there as well, along with the NASCAR Pinty Series, that is, and their first ever race on American soil coming up in September in New Hampshire.
That'll be awesome. New Hampshire is some of the best racing you will ever see, so if you can get to New Hampshire Motor Speedway for their July race weekend, put it on your bucket list. And here we go, Kyle. Get ready to go green. Green flag.
Right now, for the final segment of this event, the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East, Harrison Burton on the outside, Todd Gilliland right to the bottom. Bill McAnally Racing makes up row number 2 with Rouse and Kraus, and then they really scatter. From about fifth on back, Spencer Davis up into the top 5 for the first time tonight, car number 82. Gets a shove from Brandon McReynolds. Anthony Alfredo a little out of shape. Car number 40 is going to lose a couple of spots off of turn number 2 as well.
I think that's the first time we didn't see the outside line lead to the corner, but Harrison Burton, he wants that spot back. He's to the inside of the car. It looks like there might even be a little bit of contact happening.
Side by side at the front of the field and for the race lead. Burton at the bottom, Gilliland up top side, nose to nose, and they both slide up the racetrack just a bit. Everybody's okay, and Gilliland back to the front of the field in car number 54.
And I guess we can now say there was definitely some contact happening.
Yes, there was. Among the race leaders, just a half a lap to go. Gilliland, Burton, 1 and 2. Outside lane, the 17 coming to life. Tyler Ankrum. Couple of cars out of shape. And into the outside wall. And I believe that is Anthony Alfredo, who was running so well early on in this race, up against the outside wall, and he is joined there by the 44 of Dylan Bassett. Couple of hard hits. Bassett climbs out of his car okay. Over to talk to Anthony Alfredo. Apparently Bassett heard what he wanted to hear or not and quickly walked away. Quickly walked away from Alfredo after a brief conversation. So caution again, lap 135 in the books. 40 laps to run. And Bassett leaning against his car. Safety teams over tending to the drivers off of turn number 4. Bassett, Alfredo, the two drivers involved. Alfredo, that black number 40 car against the outside wall. Going to hook up the two cars and keep it under the caution flag. Was talk for a moment, maybe going to red, but safety crews quickly on the scene. Field off of turn number 4. Jimmy Zacharias, the first car behind the pace truck. We believe he'll be receiving the free pass. Already in position for when that direction is given. Todd Gilliland, next car in line as the race leader. Harrison Burton in second. Derek Kraus in third. Cole Rouse in fourth. And Brandon McReynolds rounding out the top 5. Good run for Spencer Davis as well here tonight, running in the 6th spot. And unofficially in 7th, the number 20 of Anthony Sergi also having a good run in the top 10. And then one of the drivers you've been keeping an eye on, Tyler Ankrum. Issues in the first half of this race, but coming back up through the field.
Yes, and as I mentioned before, he said he's used to having to do that based on his late model racing and even when he was younger racing quarter midgets. He said qualifying wasn't his thing, so coming back from the rear of the field, we watched him do that, and here he is, like you said, making his way back up into the top 10. This is his debut as well. He'll be running 7 races this season in the East Series for that team. So not a bad showing. A lot of hard work for him, but
so far so good. Trying to at least maybe pass the most cars here tonight. Car number 17 had a great 3-wide move on the last restart over in turn number 3. Gained a couple of spots just prior to this caution flag for Tyler Ankrum. '44 car removed from the scene of the incident for Dylan Bassett. Now work focusing on the Anthony Alfredo car off turn 4. Bassett's car going to be towed back to the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East garage, back toward his pit stall. Turn 1 side on the front straightaway. And it looks like they're buttoning up the Anthony Alfredo car off of turn number 4. And it looks like that car now removed from the front stretch wall. And Alfredo's car will be put back to will be towed back to the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East garage.
one thing that maybe we want to touch on here is Harrison Burton not banking on having caution laps.
Yeah.
So I wonder how this is playing into.
He's not complaining about the length of these caution flags, no doubt, for Harrison. Restarting in the lane that has not been preferred on these restarts, though. Todd Gilliland is there in the outside lane. The field has been given the 1-to-go signal. Alfredo's car back behind the wall and in a safe location over on the back straightaway. So we are set for the restart. Down to the final 35 laps here tonight at New Smyrna Speedway. Pace truck on pit road. Gilliland to the outside, Burton to the bottom, green flag from the starter's area. Outside lane gets the restart and the jump. McReynolds to the inside of Spencer Davis. Davis, though, with a full head of steam in the outside lane, takes the fifth spot away and is working on position number 4. Car number 16 of Derek Krause. Slip sliding around off of turn number 2. Everybody's okay in impact. Tyler Dipple in that pack of traffic, along with Anthony Surgeon. Those 2 cars are side by side, just inside the top 10. Further up, Nick Reynolds back to the inside of Spencer Davis. Position number 5. Good run from Nick Reynolds. Better run for Davis with that high side momentum. Holding on to this spot. Nick Reynolds in 6th. Tyler Ankrum up to 7th. And then the 04 for Ronnie Bassett. In position number 8 as they come back down the line. Still no change at the front field, Heather, and still Todd Gilliland leading the way over Harrison Burton, and once again, those two cars pulling away from everybody behind them.
That's right, Kyle. They definitely have been the first to beat this evening at Smyrna Speedway. Now they are racing hard for that top position. Again, we've seen the Bill McAnally racing teammates of Cole Rouse and Derek Krause. They've been racing hard all night as well. Spencer Davis in the fifth position, right on their tails, followed by Brandon McReynolds and Tyler Ankrum trying to find a way around the 74. I've seen him kind of try to work the bottom and the top to get around that car at this point.
Big wiggle for Ron Bassett Jr., the 04 car, just inside of the top 10. Goes on to the car off of turn number 2. Losing a bit of ground to Tyler Ankrum and Brandon McReynolds, who are side by side for the 6th spot on the racetrack. McReynolds to the outside, Ankrum to the bottom, then it's back to Bassett, who is finding heavy pressure from Anthony Surgeon in car number 20, and Tyler Dipple in the 30. A little bit of contact between those two cars in turn 1. Bassett moved up the racetrack just a bit. Surgeon makes the pass.
For a minute, I thought Tyler Dipple was going to get in that action and pass the 20 as well, the same way he just passed the 10.
Dipple following back to the line. In position number 9 on the racetrack, make that the 8th spot for Tyler Dipple. Battle for contested just behind them. Here they come back off of turn number 4. Dipple and Bassett side by side. Tyler Dipple finds the opening that he was waiting for, but high side momentum in the favor of Bassett in that 0-4 entry. Around Chuck Buchanan Jr. in the 87, that car going an additional lap down. Race leaders making their way by him off of turn number 2. We're back in turn number 1 now. Todd Gilliland at the point. Harrison Burton, the only driver that has not pit stop in this race. Hanging right there with the race leader after leading the majority of their portions at this event. Back off at turn number 4, they come once again. 155 laps complete, 20 laps to go. The NASCAR K1 Coast Series East here tonight at New Smyrna Speedway. Todd Gilliland leads the way. Harrison Burton is second. Now a part of the back straightaway, back to 3rd. And that's where we find Cole Rouse having such a good run on that Bill McAnally Racing entry. Kind of the best of the rest right now, as Gilliland and Burton in a class of their own at the front. Derek Krause in 4th, Spencer Davis in 5th, Tyler Ankrum in the 6th spot, Brandon McReynolds in 7th. Everybody's single file, and it looks like before we end this race, hot traffic could be a factor.
We've seen some close calls so far with some of those slower cars. The faster ones are catching them. I'll tell you, they're a little too close for comfort for me.
Right among the lap cars, and that might tighten the drivers at the front of the field as well. Todd Gilliland in 54, Harrison Burton in 12. The King car once again off of turn number 4. That car well off the pace, several laps down, car number 87. Matt Levine, the next car to roll out down, car number 10. He was involved in an early race incident here for Levine. Hasn't been the same ever since. And here comes Harrison Burton, Heather. Going off behind the 10, and now he gets in there, now turn 2. Caution is out. Levine's car comes to a stop against the inside wall. An interesting move there off of turn number 2, and we'll see if there might be a penalty toward the 54. Heavy contact. He might have to come to pit road anyway to the right front corner of that car after getting into the 10 car.
Yes, when I was speaking about a little too close for comfort, he just crossed that way.
A little bit there off of turn number 2 a moment ago, and it involved race leader Todd Gilliland. Harrison Burton in the second spot. Levine's car comes to a stop to the inside of the back straightaway. And we go under the caution flag once again into the final 15 laps now of this event. 162 complete.
I tried to take a look at Todd's car as he came by. It didn't look like there was too much damage there. But not what he wanted as the race leader, with Harrison Burton starting to catch him at this point.
Yeah, Burton was back within a couple of car lengths of Todd Gilliland when the 10 car got turned off of turn number 2, off the front bumper of Todd Gilliland. No free pass under this caution flag, as the free pass car was going to be the number 10 for Matt Levine. That car has free fired up on the back straightaway, so it should be a quick caution flag. Once the safety truck gets back to the infield, we should be back underway for what will be the final 10 laps.
Well, Kyle, we're coming up on almost 10 to go by the time we get going and green again. What do you think? 10-lap shootout between the 12 and the 54? Or do you think that those BMR teammates of Cole Rouse and Derek Kraus, you think they have anything for these guys? Or will we see the 17, who's now in 5th, Tyler Ankrum, make his way to the front?
Yes.
2?
I think it's going to be tough to get around the Todd Gilliland and Harrison Burton cars. They've been at the front of the field for the entire event, and I think the driver that restarts in the outside lane may be in pretty good shape for the final, what will be 8 or 9 laps of this race. And we anticipate Todd Gilliland restarting, that is, from the outside lane. Harrison Burton will restart to the bottom in car number 12. And then those 2 BMR cars coming to us from the West Coast in Derek Kraus and Cole Rouse.
Now, Derek, he won the season finale in the K&N West Series at Kern County Raceway, and he told me earlier he would love to start his season off with that same momentum and get the win here tonight. So we know he's hungry for it. I know he has to come from 4th, and he's got 3 tough competitors in front of him. But I bet that's what he wants to see, is victory lane.
Trying to get a win here in the East, and what a great stage to get that win here at New Smyrna Speedway. A lot of the folks from the big track here tonight watching this event. After the clash earlier today, the Advanced Auto Parts clash. Field on the back straightaway. Less than 10 laps to run. 1 to go at the start-finish line. Here we come off of turn 4, 10-lap shootout in 1 lap from now. Field doubles up. Gilliland. Restarting in the outside lane. Burton to the bottom. Safety truck will head to safety on pit road. Does Burton have enough on the bottom? Derek Kraus to the outside of road 2. Cole Rouse's teammate to the bottom. Green flag off turn 4. And the front four get away as they go back to turn one. Burton not giving Gilliland much room. Gilliland not able to use that high side momentum to his advantage, and now there's contact. Burton slides up into Gilliland. Here comes the third place car. They are 3 wide for race lead momentarily. And good win for Cole Rouse, unable to get up alongside. It may not be done yet, Heather.
No, if I was going to bet on it, they see all the way to the end of this race. Hard racing from 12 to 54.
Back to turn 2 they go. Top 4 cars, all single file. Burton reels them back in. Todd Gilliland, the race leader. Burton in second, 3 wide further back, just outside the top 10. Everybody's okay there, involving Jimmy Zacharias. Battle through, Burton gets the run on the bottom. Pulls up alongside Todd Gilliland for the top spot. Burton, the only driver not to pit in the event here tonight. Hoping that pays off, and that strategy paying off here tonight. 4 to go. 3.5 as they hit the back straightaway. Jesse Aruzzi will bring his car to the bottom of the racetrack. Give the race leaders plenty of room to the outside. Here they come off of turn number 4. 3 to go. 2-driver race at the front for the win. Gilliland, Burton 1 and 2. Burton looks to the inside, gets a good run off of turn number 4. Not close enough into the final 2 laps here at Smyrna Speedway. Gilliland, a little bit of a wiggle off of turn number 2. Burton closes in, there's contact. Gilliland moves up the racetrack, Harrison Burton to the bottom. White flag, 1 to go, new race leader, Harrison Burton to the point. Gilliland, will drive it a little deeper into turn 1. Back and forth to the front of the field. Side by side off of turn 4. Gilliland is there. Burton not able to make the move. Todd Gilliland wins here at Smyrna Speedway.
Wow, what a finish, Kyle. Raced all the way to the end.
A wild race at the front of the field. Todd Gilliland claiming the win. And look at that. Cole Rouse moving to the inside for second. What a race here tonight. He can hear you, race fans. Todd Gilliland. A wild one here tonight at New Smyrna Speedway. What a way to open up the 2018 campaign for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East. Gilliland will climb out here in just a moment. We will hear from some of the other top finishers as well as Heather DeVoe makes her way trackside. You can relive it all on NBCSN Tuesday, February 27th at 6 o'clock. Set your DVRs. It's going to be another wild one, no doubt. Wild to watch a moment ago. Relive it all here in a couple of weeks' time on NBCSN. Heather DeVoe making her way trackside. Again, the Florida Modifieds are up next. They have a 35-lap feature coming up to wrap up the night of racing. And then we'll do it all over again tomorrow as the Mighty Modifieds check in here to Smyrna Speedway. believe 3 lead changes in the final half mile of the event here tonight between Todd Gilliland and Harrison Burton. Got a little physical at the front. And it was Todd Gilliland. Harrison Burton making his move just a little bit too early. With 2 laps to go, Gilliland able to drive a little deeper in turn number 1 and take the top spot away. Derek Pernasiglio will make his way trackside now and conduct the winning interview for the folks at NBCSN. Then our Heather DeBow will step in and chat with Todd. We'll hear from the race winner after a wild one. He is out of the car. He can hear you, folks.
All right, Kyle, we're catching up here with our 3rd place finisher, Harrison Burton in the number 12. Harrison, we watched you race hard that entire race. You were the only driver to not pit that race. So first of all, let's walk us through those final laps with the battle of you and Todd, and then the decision into staying out.
Well, it got really aggressive, and I didn't mean to run him up the racetrack like I did. I just got in and got free on entry, and then it took him with us. I'm glad that he didn't wreck. It was a lot of fun. We raced hard, and that's what we always do. So the staying out strategy was interesting. I had to save gas the whole time, and ended up having enough in the tank. Just made a mistake and couldn't come up with a win.
Now you race here this week. Do you have more races here for the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing? You won last night. You almost had it tonight. What can we look forward to seeing from you for the rest of the week?
Just ready to go racing again. You know, that's what's cool about this is you can come off of a race and then rebound off of it and go back and try and get another win. So a lot of fun, and hopefully we can get some more in the future.
Well, thank you for your time, Harrison. That's Harrison Burton finishing 3rd here in the K&N Pro Series East debut race for the 2018 season. Kyle?
Harrison Burton coming home 3rd after leading going into the final lap. A wild finish, but no doubt will be one to watch, not only in this series, but also when he makes his move into the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series later this season for Harrison Burton. Hear from some of the other top finishers. Also, he won here last night in the late model. He'll be back here tomorrow in the late model, so a lot of laps left here at New Smyrna Speedway just this week for Harrison Burton, who one of the busier drivers here, part of the World Series of Asphalt Racing.
All right, Kyle, caught up now with our 2nd place finisher, Cole Rouse, in the number 99. Cole, quite the battle happening in front of you there. What was going through your mind, and what was your plan? Because it looked as though you were just hanging back to see if they would wreck each other to get to the front.
Yeah, I was trying to get close enough to them to go into the corner and door slam both of them to go for the win, but I wasn't close enough to do that. They kind of pulled away a little faster than us tonight, but we'll be back for different shows that they'll be in, and hopefully we can beat them next time.
Now, this is your first race with Bill McAnally Racing. How would you grade your first run with this team?
I would grade it an A-. 2 spots for getting the wins, or 1 spot for getting the win, actually. So hopefully we can make it 1 spot better next time.
Well, congratulations on a great finish. Thank you, Cole, for your time. Cole Rouse finishing 2nd here at the K&N Pro Series New Smyrna 175. Catching up with the winner here in Victory Lane, celebrations happening, pictures are being taken. Todd Gilliland brought it home. Todd, quite the hard racing happening throughout that entire race. It was you and Harrison the whole time. Walk us through those final laps. He said that he didn't mean to push you up the track, but you both were racing hard. What did you see?
Hard racing for the win. You know, that stuff happens. We get into each other, we get back into him. I mean, you know, we're both very hungry to get this win, and you know, luckily we put this Frontline Enterprises Toyota Camry in Victory Lane, and can't thank everyone on my team enough. Everyone at DGR Crosley, man, they built me a super fast race car. Man, it's just a dream come true to be back here in Victory Lane. You know, now we got a few more things to accomplish this year, and just trying to look in the future.
Now, what does this win mean to you now that it's for essentially your dad's team? How does that differ from the previous wins that you've had in your career?
It's very special, you know. There's still a lot of K&N races available, and you know, you can drive this car. So I think it just really proves that David Gilliland Racing is top-notch equipment, and you know, I'm just super lucky to be able to drive it, and you know, hopefully I get a few more opportunities to this year.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's hard to believe Todd Gilliland's only 18 years old. You're 17. He's not even 18 yet, and you're almost as tall as that trophy. Good luck on the rest of your season. Kyle, it's been a great race here. Fans, I hope you enjoyed this finish to the new Smyrna 175 in the K&N Pro Series season opener.
All right, race fans, what did you think of that K&N race? Good stuff, huh? Great battle for the lead over the last couple laps between Harrison Burton and Todd Gilliland. Those two guys, the class of the field all night long. Looked like Burton might have had it, and then Gilliland fought back and took the win. I'm sure we got some northerners here that are trying to escape the cold weather and enjoy some great racing here in sunny Florida. These K&N cars are going to be back in New Hampshire the weekend of September 21st and 22nd for a big weekend of racing out there. We're going to have the first ever Whelen Modified 250 lap race. We're going to see those Whelen Modifieds, those tour mods as we like to call them,